Welcome back to the 903 podcast. This week, I sat down with Anita McElroy of A Sweet Day Photography. I talked with her about moving from California to East Texas, her rise to recognition nationally as a matchmaker and photographer, how her process works, and then I delivered messages from some of her success stories. Here's what's happening in the 903. Welcome back to the 903 podcast. I'm Andrew Darrington, your host. Tonight, we're here in Tyler, Texas at the Moore Professional Building. Thank you guys so much for letting us set up here. Really appreciate it. And we really appreciate all of our supporters and our sponsors. Without you guys, we couldn't do what we're doing. We're booked all the way till November of 2026. We're super excited about the content that we're producing. And we're more excited about the businesses and the nonprofits that we get to support and do some free advertising for them. Without further ado, we've got Anita McElroy. Hey, how are you?
Hi, good. How are you?
Good. You are the founder and the owner of Sweet Day Photography.
Yes, that is correct.
How long have you had Sweet Day? How long has it been operational?
14 years. It started
years.
14 years ago.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay. So you haven't always been a photographer.
No.
And you've also not always been a Texan.
No.
Yeah. So you're from California, Northern
Yes.
California. Talk to us a little bit about what life was like for those that have never been to California.
California, it's a beautiful place. It truly is. When we do visit, I look at it and I'm like, wow, how did we leave such a beautiful place? You get the mountains, you get the ocean, you get the city. So it was hard to leave. It was definitely a treat to be there for as long as I was. But when raising a family, you have to make sacrifices. And not that living here is a sacrifice at all. If anything, I wish we would have done it sooner. Mm-hmm. But it's very expensive. So we had to take that into consideration. And when my husband and I decided on having a family, we wanted to homeschool. That was a huge thing for us. And living on one income in California, it just doesn't happen easily. So we packed our bags and we landed in East Texas. Right.
So what was that? What was it like looking at the state? So I'm assuming you looked at the state of Texas and said, this is where we want to be. Mm-hmm. Was there anything that drew you to East Texas comparatively to maybe San Antonio, Austin?
It's funny you say that, because when we first were exploring, because we went to a lot of states. We went to Oregon first, Utah, Arizona, New Mexico. We traveled all that. And then we went to Waco first when we first were looking into Texas because of, I don't know if you watched it, but the Fixer Upper.
Mm-hmm. Sure, yeah.
So it was all we knew. It was all the Texas that we knew.
Yeah.
So we're like, oh, let's go to Waco. So we drove to Waco, and I looked at my husband. I'm like, this is not it.
Right.
I can't live in Texas. I'm sorry. And so we went back. We went back to California, all sad, and we kept doing research. And one of our friends said, check out East Texas. It's green. It's beautiful. It's very much like Sonoma because it's green, very green in Sonoma. And we're like, okay, we'll give it another shot. So we came back. Only we're supposed to stay for 2 weeks. Mm-hmm. We ended up loving it so much that we were like, let's stay another week. And if in that week we can figure out what we're going to do, we'll do it or not. So my husband is the brains of all of this, but he managed to get us an enclosed trailer. We left because we were living in our fifth wheel during all this travel. He managed to rent an enclosed trailer in Dallas. We drove, we went to go grab it. We packed up our stuff and left our fifth wheel, went to California, packed everything in a month. Nobody knew. We didn't even know. I mean, we came here to visit and we just loved it.
Right.
So we got home, told our parents. Everyone was real sad.
Right.
And we came back and we bought a house a month later.
Wow. And what was it like so your husband finds a job here? Is it remote?
Yes, it's remote. He had been working remote prior to it as well. So that made it 100 times easier in terms of...
I'm assuming COVID probably transitioned it, or it always... Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that makes it a little more convenient.
Yes.
And so you settle on what part of East Texas? You're in Bullard, right?
No, Troop.
Troop.
We're in
Okay.
Troop, yeah.
So, oh wow. So a little bit of country.
Very much,
Yes.
especially compared to, Sonoma.
Right. Right. But I mean, that's a really nice area, especially, kids get a lot of sensations
Yes.
there that you wouldn't get in city life. And so that part's good. We have some friends that just transitioned their kid from public school to homeschool, and they're very, very focused on sensations and experiences, because that's what they saw was wrong with the public school, or like the school system, was that it was very rigid, and then they go to school all day only to have homework for a couple hours when they get home.
Yes.
And there's a lot of rigidness in curriculum, and then there's some things that are taught that maybe parents don't agree with, or whatever it may be. I mean, there's a litany of things that people argue about and all that. And so the thing that they're sensitive about is their social life to a certain degree, not just through computers or anything like that, just kind of taking them places and seeing things and all that good stuff. So yeah, that's great. That's great. So you've been here for 4 years?
Yes, 4 years.
4 years now, so pretty integrated.
Yeah,
right? Texas
we're getting
life.
there.
Yeah. So before you were here, you were in the medical field.
Yes.
Right?
For a long time, since I was 15.
Okay. Pediatric medical assistant.
Yeah, well, it didn't start that way, but
Okay.
yes, that's what I eventually became.
Do you think that experience transitioned you with the patient side of things and kind of being able to explain things? Do you think that helped you become the photographer you are now?
Definitely. Well, I also took child development classes during my time in school, as well as medical assisting, because I love kids. I've always loved kids. So having the child care background and medical assisting, it came together so well. I almost wish everybody did that, because I learned how to talk to children in a more positive way, because nobody wants to get their shots, right? Nobody wants to go to the doctor, especially kids, and
Right.
they'll cry for it. So being in the child care really taught me just words to say to kids to like help them. So that really helped. And so that then helps me in photography with children, because I'm able to be patient and just speak to them in a way that they'll cooperate a little bit more. I mean, I used to be the medical assistant moms would ask for to give their kids shots.
Right.
So that was such a compliment. And so now when people ask for photographers that specialize in kids or are good with kids, I'm like, me.
Right,
like
right.
that's my thing.
Yes.
So it does. It definitely has helped me in many ways with the kids, with the taking pictures of them.
So you guys moved to Texas, and you hang up the stethoscope and go full bore into your photography.
Yes.
What was your photography business prior to moving to East Texas? What was it? More just kind of like something you did on the side, or
Yes.
were you already kind of engaged in some full-time activities prior to moving over?
No, well, because when I was in California, I had to work the 9 to 5. So I worked 9 to 5, and almost half a year at 5 o'clock, it's dark.
Right.
So by the time I got home, I didn't have a chance to do photo shoots. So I only did photo shoots either on the weekends or when it was darker later.
Yeah.
But even then, everybody works. I mean, when I go back home, I'm like, hey guys, want to hang out on a Monday? And they're like, no, we have a job.
Right.
So, not very many people are available on the weekdays anyway. So it was a side hustle for sure in California.
So you get here to Texas, and you're going to do it full time.
Well, it just happened.
Okay.
I mean, I obviously I advertised and hoped for the best, but I didn't expect it to ever skyrocket as much as it did when I first started, especially because I had 10 years of it in California.
Sure.
And it was steady.
Yeah.
But here it definitely blew up.
So what do you think? What were some of the factors that made it blow up that way?
The blind date sessions,
Okay.
definitely.
So walk me through, how do you get involved with that? Because I mean, I've done some research, and I've seen, there are some some companies that do them similarly, but you seem to be pretty polished in that now. But what helped you stumble into that?
So my husband had mentioned it, but we half listened to them sometimes, and I was like, oh yeah, like that's a great idea, but I didn't really like think about what he meant. And then someone messaged me and they're like, hey, do you do these stranger sessions? And I was like, okay, now it's been brought up twice. Like, okay, what is this? And she said, oh, you just put two people together and, take photos. And I was like, who's going to pay for that? Like, that's just not, I don't see how that's successful. So then I'm like, okay, how can I twist it so that it is appealing and people do want to do it, especially men? So I was like, what if I make it a date? What if I provide an activity so these people have something to do while this date is happening? Like, put a little spin on it. And so I did. So I put it out there, and that day my sister-in-law happened to be sitting right next to me because she lived in California. She was visiting.
Yeah.
And I remember I looked over at her and I was like, hey, will you be my model? And she was like, what? And I was like, yeah, you're just going to meet some guy. Like, I just need promo photos, right? I need people blindfolded.
Yeah.
And she was like, okay. So we ended up having two guys because I needed all I could have, in terms of promo photos. So we did one guy, he was cool, but, she was like, nah. And so then we did the other guy, and they're married.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yes.
So your sister-in-law was single, and she started everything for you.
Yeah, she was my
wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
She married him.
Wow.
So
okay. So that was your first
It was my first
setup success. Right?
Yep. I mean, it was my first setup and it was a success.
Yes. So then the ball rolls a little bit more when you start posting pictures about it.
Yep.
And everybody's seeing that, emotion for the first couple seconds. And then you're having them, do some posing that makes it look like it's not quirky or odd or anything. It's like, oh, wow, love at first sight, or hey, this could work, and then people all over are seeing that and either have experienced it or are looking for it.
Yes.
Is that what you saw after you posted these? Is that kind of the I guess wind fire that you started growing your business with?
Yeah, I mean, I posted it and it became a success, and people just want to be a part of it, whether it's for themselves or for someone else, like a child or a friend. I mean, there's people that are married that just follow because they love seeing the genuine smiles, the genuine moments, even the ones that aren't a success, and you can kind of tell, especially my followers that have been following me for a while, like they can tell.
Yes.
Oh, I don't know about this one. Or there's some that do hit it off and they don't look like they would, which I like those because this is an awkward situation. I mean, you're blindfolded, you have a photographer in your face, you're going on a date with a complete stranger that you have no idea anything about them. I don't tell people anything but their age, where they live, around where they live, or anything. I don't tell them very much detail. Right. So usually when you go on a blind date, it's like, oh, my sister just fixed me up with this guy. He looks like this, he does that. This is completely blind. Right. So people look awkward. Yeah. Right. And whether they're already in love with this person or not. So it's fun to see how this all unravels, and it's fun to see the followers what they predict, because a lot of the times they're right. Yeah. And yeah, it's a fun all around thing that I never imagined would get this way. Is it hard to get nominees? Especially men, because the problem is that we're hard on each other. Like, guys are hard on other guys, and it's like, well, you can't get a date. Like, and so it's our own problem, social problem that we have. So I'd imagine that it's probably hard to have some of those folks that vulnerability of saying, hey, look, I've attempted a couple different options, and
whether it's worked out or not, and here I am.
Mm-hmm.
I assume that pool is quite a bit smaller than the female side.
100%. I mean, I think right now I probably have, I don't know, like 55 women on my list from all ages, 18 to 75, I think.
Yeah.
And then men, I have probably 20.
Okay.
So it's
I
always
thought it'd
been
be
like
wider. Honestly, I thought you'd only have like maybe 10.
Yeah, no, I'm lucky. I'm definitely lucky.
Yeah.
I do have more than I think other photographers that do this have. But the funny thing is that I have a lot of women, but they're over 40.
Yeah.
That's the bigger age range. And I have a lot of men, well, not a lot, but the men that I do have are between 20 and 30.
Right.
So it's a teeter-totter.
They're trying to start a life.
Yes.
And you've got some that have been through life and that are looking to reconnect.
Yes. So that's the thing. It's a teeter-totter, and then I don't have many on the men's side to begin with. So it's a lot of waiting, and I try to be very transparent on everything. And that's one of the things that from the get-go, when you sign that, or not sign, but when you fill out the application,
right?
If you're a woman, you're going to be waiting a while. And I'm sorry, but that's just how from experience, that's just how it is.
So your background is medical, you're a photographer, and now you're like a matchmaker. Yeah. So walk me through. You also said that you're very picky about, how you match these folks up because
Yes.
you're trying to make sure that they're protected from, bad matches, and you want to have a good experience. But how do you qualify yourself to do those things, and what do you look for when you're weighing out? I know you have questionnaires, but guys' answers are going to be, quite a bit different, I assume, than women's answers. So what are some of the things that make a good match?
Well, I ask them, like, what do you do on your day off or when you have free time? And they'll answer. And I'll ask, what is your ideal mate physically? And what is your ideal mate mentally? And then I ask, like the little things, like, do you mind if they smoke, vape, chew? Do you mind if they have children? That's a big one.
Yeah.
Especially when I have the younger
young
crowd.
Guys. Yeah.
And stuff like that. So all those questions help me, because if someone has 2-3 kids and the other person's like, no way, I don't even continue reading the questionnaire.
But then the people that you're screening have to understand that if they're not going to be open to things, that they're going to be waiting longer, right?
Oh yeah, I let them know that too.
Yes.
Because there's a lot of tall women here. There's a lot of tall women.
Yeah.
And a lot of tall women want taller men. And I'll have that conversation where it's like, you're 5'10". I don't have anyone that's 5'10" on my list right now,
Okay. Interesting.
And I'll let them know that, and they'll be like, okay, like either they'll say, okay, I'll take someone shorter, or okay, I'll wait. Like I said, I try to be as transparent as I possibly can, because I don't like spending people's money. I don't like spending their time. So when you pay me to process your questionnaire, I'm constantly reading them. I'm going back and forth. I'm just using Messenger. I don't have any kind of spreadsheet or anything. So I'm literally going back and forth, spending hours in the back.
And you don't charge a lot to do this either.
No.
Like you're charging $75 to match these people up.
Yeah.
So $150, I'm assuming, for both.
Yes.
And you're doing a lot of homework, and there's some risk there because you've taken them at their word, and they fill out this application. They're generating future business, so you're doing a lot for these folks, and so I know you have some successes with these blinds. Walk us through some of the ones that are most memorable for you.
I know it just happened, so that might be why it's in the top of my head, but I also really, really liked this couple. So I matched them just recently in February, like right before Valentine's,
wow.
I think.
Okay.
I think, right before Valentine's. I know it was in February, I just don't remember if it was before or after Valentine. And they're together. They decided to make it official. I just got the notice about it like 2 nights ago. And they're just so cute.
Right.
I mean, as soon as I saw them, I was like, oh, I really hope this works.
Right.
And yeah, they're at the top of my list right now. But
is that what it's like being on the other side of the camera? Like, you've set these two people up. They have certain expectations coming into it that or hopes, you know, that, hey, I'm going to like this person. And so the stress is on you.
Oh,
right?
100%.
Yeah.
Like, everyone is always texting me, I'm so nervous, I'm so nervous. And I'm like, I'm just as nervous as you.
Right.
Every single
Probably
time.
more nervous, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because I don't want you to have a bad time.
Sure.
You know, I know it's only $75, but that's a lot. So like, to me, it's like, it's a lot of pressure. I don't ever want to put someone in a terrible situation. So it's a lot. It's a lot riding on me as well as for them. So we're all as nervous.
Right.
We're all in a nervous ball together because, it's.
So you collect a list, and then as you're evaluating back and forth, then you're like, okay, I think this could work, or you may circle back to a potential match, like you think you've got somebody who's compatible, but there's one or two things that you want to talk to them about,
Yes.
and ask them, hey, look, is this somewhere that we can be flexible, or you're going to the gym 7 days a week, you have to have that, right?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, no, I definitely, yes. If there's something that I'm like, oh, I really think they'd be a good match, but, this person's saying that they, don't want to date someone that vapes, so just as an example. I'll message the opposite person. I'll be like, hey, like, I really think you guys would do well together, but they vape.
Right.
Is that a total deal breaker? And, sometimes they'll say yes. And sometimes they'll be like, yeah, okay, like, I want to meet them anyway. So then we move forward.
Yeah, yeah. Have there been any? I mean, I know you have more success stories than just one.
Oh yeah.
But I mean, had there been any successes where you were surprised, or that you like it was risky, and you don't have to use their names, obviously, but like it was, a risk to potentially have this happen, or you felt good about everything every time that you've gone into it?
But so every time we've got into it and they became a success, or
like
just any in general?
you picked them and you're like, I hope this works, but this is risky,
Well, and I've gotten, every time I learn something, so there's a lot of filters out there, right? So there's been moments where I get these pictures of these people and I'm like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
I'm blinded to the fact that they have filters on everything.
Yeah.
So we get there and I'm like, you do not look like what I thought.
Yeah.
So it's like,
Right.
So there's moments like that where I get, I guess, quote unquote, catfished.
Right.
Even myself. And that's when I'm like, I don't know if this is going to work.
Right. Yeah.
So I think that's the only time. But now, since that happened to me once or twice, I changed it on my questionnaire and I asked people to send me 2 to 3 photos of themselves recently without filters.
Yeah.
So then I can actually see what people look like.
Yeah.
So since then, it's worked out.
Yeah, you had one couple that matched, and it was big enough to where local news covered it. They were even on a national talk show.
Yes.
So,
that was my first match.
Okay, so that was your sister-in-law? Oh, wow. Okay, so they're the ones that made it to the talk show. What was it about their connection that led that to be so publicized?
I think it's because it was my first one.
Okay.
I think because it blew up, because it started with the news. So we were on the news.
It's got a lot of views, hasn't it? I mean,
yes.
It's tons of views.
Yes. It must have been the news. And then someone in Hawaii picked it up and wrote a People magazine article on it. Mm-hmm. So I think it was all just that. It got a lot of views. When it got on People, I think it was People, it got shared to other states. Or no, I think it was the news. So when we got on the news that they had gotten engaged, it got shared into a bunch of other
Yeah, it was
news.
all over Texas. It was in Beaumont, Houston, and then it just kind of spread out. And next thing you know, you've got talk show hosts that's trying to interview them about what the process was like and what their experience was and all that good stuff. That's pretty cool. And now, a word from our sponsors. This episode is sponsored by Red Construction and Development, LLC. If you are looking to build or remodel and need the highest quality, best reputation, and 3D rendering, look no further than Red Construction. Call Thomas and his team at 903-630-8660 today. This episode is sponsored by Hoot and Holler Beverage. When I think of Hoot and Holler, their selection and customer service first comes to mind. So skip the big box franchises and make the trip to Hoot and Holler in Gun Barrel City. Between barrel picks, mixers, seltzers, whatever you need for the weekend, they'll help you find it. Stop by today. Scott and team are ready. This episode is sponsored by the Humidor. If you are looking for cigars and want to enjoy a few hours in a great environment with a great staff, the Humidor should be your next stop. With their vast selection and new bar, you'll have a great time every time. This episode is sponsored by Vault Arms, the premier destination for all things firearm related. So if you're in the market for handguns, rifles, or supplies, stop by Vault Arms at 4740 South Broadway or their indoor range at 417 West Elm in Tyler. Now back to the 903 podcast. So let's talk more about the photography because blind dates aren't the only thing that you do.
Right.
So talk to us a little bit about like some of the sessions you offer. Obviously the Valentine's and the holidays, you know, those are fun things. I think mother-daughter, those pictures are pretty cool to see.
Yes.
And of course, the pictures with families with grandparents are cool to see. So talk to us a little bit about that. And something else that you said that was pretty cool was just how that moment freezes in time, which is pretty interesting.
Yes. So I do couples, seniors, families, maternity, of course, couples. Couples, I think because of the whole blind date thing, couples have definitely grown in my heart. So one of them, I wouldn't say it went viral, but last year I wanted to get a couple that had a date, their first date, somewhere in East Texas, Tyler, Longview, wherever, and it was still around. So I wanted to get a couple who was hopefully like in their 80s, 90s, just an elderly couple, still together, and that we could go to their first place where they met. I ended up finding a couple, and unfortunately, the place that they had our first date was a drive-through movie.
Yeah.
So those, unfortunately, are no longer here.
Right.
So we kind of like reenacted that at a ritual laboratorium in Jacksonville. We reenacted because when they first met, it was at the drive-through movie, and he had bought her popcorn and soda. So that's kind of what we reenacted. We had them eat popcorn and share a soda, and it was so amazing.
Yeah.
It was just an elderly couple, and you could tell they were still so in love, and they've now been married 62 years. They were just about to celebrate their 62nd anniversary. So it was just so lovely to see. I mean, if I could do that all the time, I would. I just love capturing love, whether it's a couple or a family or anything like that. It's just, it warms my heart.
Yeah. Talk to us a little bit about some of the support systems that you had in East Texas when you transitioned. You had a couple people that you mentioned when we were talking.
Yes.
That you want to show some love for that kind of have helped you out. Maybe bounce ideas off of or different types of editing and things like that.
Yes. So I went to I don't know if you're familiar with it, but Modern Space, it's a photography studio.
Yep.
So I want to say in like 2023, the owners held an event for us photographers to take photos of each other, like headshots and stuff. And at that time, I was using automatic on my camera. I had no idea what I was doing, even 10 years in. But like I said, even when I didn't live in here, I barely used my camera, only on the weekends. So I went up to someone named Mandy Ray, and I was like, you have the same camera, can you help me figure out what this is? She took the time to like help me, and it was awesome. And after that, like I was able to use my camera in manual. And, you know, every so often she'd be like, oh, if you ever need help, just let me know, just let me know. And I'm like, okay. So like I text her one day and I'm like, I just really need help. Like you helped me enough on my camera, but now like I need more help with editing and, you know, making my photos pop. And she's like, come over. So I went over, we spent like 8 to 10 hours and she just sat with me and helped me. So I will always be grateful for Mandy because she helped me so much. And I mean, as far as everybody else, East Texas has a really great support system, or at least I feel that they're very supportive. My creative bestie, her name is Christine Bell. She's also a photographer.
Yeah.
I mean, I text her up and I'm like, hey, I want to do this. And she's like, all right, let's do it. Or she'll text me and she'll be like, I want to do this, and we'll do it. You know, just take pictures of each other sometimes because we just have ideas and it just has to happen that time. And then I love working with other photographers because I get to see how they work. And Donna Ford, I really appreciate just the way that she works. She's very direct, which I have a problem with. I'm very like shy when it comes to posing, and she's like this, like she grabs you and she does whatever it needs to be done, and I appreciate that. Because, you know, she has a vision and I want to make that vision come to life because I've modeled for her as well. And, you know, just anybody that is willing to work with me, I appreciate. I learn from them. I hope they learn from me. That creative flow is just, you just got to keep it going. And when you have a lot of photographer friends or just creative people around, it's really helpful.
Yeah. Your Facebook group, Sweet Day Photography, has 5,600 followers and 100% recommendation, rating.
Yes.
Which is incredible. And so, is there anything new that the followers might expect to see or hear, or I know you already said that you've got some blind dates that are ready, but trying to find the compatibility there. But is there anything that they can look forward to, or is 2026 kind of a year where you just continue to just do what you do and continue to grow what you're doing?
I mean, I have gotten, because of the recent updates on these dates that are going very well. Yeah. I've definitely gotten a lot of foot traffic on people wanting to do them. Of course, it's always more women than men, so men. Yes. Get in on my list, please.
And from all over the place too.
Yes.
Like if you could just teleport, like you could get a lot done.
Yes. So you'll definitely be seeing blind dates.
Right.
But I hope to get more seniors right now that it's senior season, and families are always welcome, and little kiddos. I love them so. So it's definitely still a work in the year.
I'm going to surprise you a little bit. Don't get nervous.
Okay.
But I took the time to reach out to a couple of your folks and got some words of encouragement and kind of how you impacted their life.
Oh, okay.
And so I reached out to Adam and JD. Is that how you pronounce it? Yeah. Via Kinsey. She wanted me to make sure that I said her name. But they said Anita did a great job putting JD and I together. We can't thank her enough for that and all the memories we've created and will create.
Oh.
Without her, none of this could have been possible. And JD said, Anita, keep doing what you are fantastic at. Thank you for all you did for us and what you'll do for others from the bottom of our hearts.
Aww.
We are so fortunate that you came into our lives and turned it upside down for the best. Right?
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Then I also reached out to Samantha, who you also impacted. And she said, Anita is so sweet and very thoughtful. She really takes time to match each couple based on her thorough and thoughtful questionnaire. I'm so thankful for her work because if it weren't for her and God, I would have never met this amazing man. I will always support her. She holds a very special place in our hearts, in the hearts of so many. I can't wait to see what the future has in store for her and the folks she has come in contact with. She really connects with her clients and cares about them deeply. She definitely changed my life in a positive way. I would hope that she keeps doing what she's doing and make a difference in people's lives. It can be very difficult to meet respectful and loyal people nowadays.
Oh.
So it's pretty cool.
That is so cool.
Yeah.
Thank you for doing that.
So I know I had to surprise you there, but I like to end every podcast with some shout outs. Obviously you just did with some folks from East Texas, but most people that we interview that are entrepreneurs or nonprofits have people around them that have sacrificed, and it just gives you guys an opportunity to acknowledge those folks verbally or on a camera. In this case, some of the people that we give shout outs to, it's hard for you to do it in person because they're selfless. They don't want the recognition. So floor is yours.
Oh, yeah. My husband, he's the one I bother to, for ideas or to bounce off, or sometimes he's sitting there next to me while I'm doing these blind date matches, and I'm like in over my head, and I'm like, I don't know anymore. And I'm like, what do you think about these two? And he'd be like, no, I don't know, or yes, So he's my everything. He, if I need something built, I have a studio. He built it. He built my studio all by himself. I can't really help him with much. I don't know how to build anything. So, he's there. He's there if I need anything. I mean, he drove me here.
Oh, wow. Okay. What's his name?
Austin.
Austin. Good man.
Yes, very good.
Yeah.
So, and my kids are always like, oh, are you going to a photo shoot? Or, Mommy, did these people meet because of you? So, my family lives mostly in California. So they support me from far away, but my husband, my kids, we're always together, and they're always supporting me in all the things, or giving me ideas. Like, I bring board games to these things sometimes, and my kids are like, okay, you can borrow this one, but you can't borrow this one.
Right.
So, yeah, it's a team effort for sure.
Yeah, very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've enjoyed it.
Yes,
I hope you have too. And thanks so much for coming on. We connected like 6 months ago, so it's taken a little bit of time. Sorry about that.
No, that's good for
you.
you.
Really appreciate you trusting the process, trusting what we do, and hope you enjoyed it.
Yes, I did.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right. That's all, folks. We'll see you in the next episode. Bye-bye.